Come see us on tour. We're going to be in Baltimore, Hartford, Connecticut, Syracuse, Atlantic City, Levittown, New York, Cohoes, New York, and Providence, Rhode Island. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets. So here is Chuck Schumer. Here's the kind of ridiculous reasons that the Democrats are using. And remember, they're all COVID Nazis. This is the ridiculous reasons that the Democrats are using to oppose RFK Jr. and what he's going to do. Here's Chuck Schumer.
Previous HHS secretaries have had a pharmaceutical industry.
Previous HHS secretaries, why were they qualified to be HHS secretary? According to Chuck Schumer, here we are.
Previous HHS secretaries have had a pharmaceutical industry background, have been a state health commissioner, have run health.
Had a pharmaceutical back, so the job requirement is that you had to work for the company that you're monitoring. That's the kind of they've all worked for the pharmaceuticals. Here we go.
You know, this is the same way they got Whitey Bulger, the FBI guy who worked for the mobster.
Yeah.
And I seem to remember that being a crime.
Previous HHS secretaries have had a pharmaceutical industry background, have been a state health commissioner, have run health systems, have been governors. Somebody who has had a background in actually administering the programs that HHS administers. Which of these qualifications does RFK possess? You know the answer. None of them.
I mean, at the top, he just gave away the ghost, referencing, you didn't work for the pharmaceutical companies. How dare you? So he said,
how dare you not work for Pfizer or Moderna or Eli Lilly? Yeah. How dare you not work for them and take millions of dollars from them before you went to regulate them and then have a promise of a job afterwards? How dare you? So Laura Ingraham is 100% right there. She says that he just gave the game away. That
Laura Ingraham is what I'm going to call her forever.
Me too. The only people that they want regulating Big Pharma are people who work for Big Pharma. That's the only people he just gave the game away. A requirement.
Do you know the previous one? The previous HHS secretary.
Yes, that's what he's.
That trans chick that looks like Ben Franklin.
Well, we know the previous FDAs. They were all in revolving door with Big Pharma.
Yeah.
The former guy, Scott Gottlieb, the former FDA secretary, is now a board member of Pfizer. And when when they bring him on CNBC or MSNBC, they don't tell you that. You know how they refer to him as? Former FDA secretary. They don't say, and current shill for Big Pharma.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Quiet part out loud there.
The qualifications that Senator Schumer is talking about there are the very qualifications that got us to where we are today. These are the people who got us to be the sickest country in the world. We are 4.2% of the world's population. We buy 70% of the pharmaceutical drugs on Earth.
How come you never hear that? I know why you never hear that, because Big Pharma bought the news media, CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, ABC, CBS. They also bought all at New York Times, Washington Post. They also bought all Rolling Stone magazine, Newsweek, Time. They buy big ads. So now they're not funding news organizations' investigations. They're funding their non-investigations. Hey, if I give you all this money, you're not going to investigate us, right? Correct.
Jimmy, you know, we pay the most per student and we're the dumbest. We also have the biggest military in the world and haven't won a war since Grenada. Does anybody think they might be getting scammed on every level?
And 2 to 3 times what other countries pay for healthcare, and we have the worst health outcomes. We literally have the sickest population in the world. Those are the people that got us there. We do need a break. We need somebody different who can come in and say, I'm going to be a disruptor. I'm not going to let the food industry and the pharmaceutical industry run health policy anymore. We're going to turn health policy over to people who are actually concerned with public health.
Are all drug company grants going to be done away with anyone on a advisory board or anyone who's connected to the federal government?
The panelists in HHS, in FDA, CDC, and NIH, there are panels that are made up of outside individuals, outside experts who come in and set policies. They set, for example, the food triangle, the food pyramid, the nutrition guidelines, the vaccine guidelines, the medical standards of care. In the past, those people, almost all of them, have severe conflicts of interest. Oh, and that's not good for our country. And we've seen what's happened. You have Fruit Loops at the top of the food pyramid.
You see what happens. You have Fruit Loops at the top of the food pyramid.
You ever see the food pyramid? And by the way, there's another thing a little suspicious. It's really a food triangle. It's not a pyramid. It's just a picture of a triangle.
Bobby Kennedy's bringing the one pill Big Pharma doesn't sell, the red pill. How dare we complain about a medical product killing our children? You aren't team players. So there's your stupid Chuck Schumer and your stupid Democrat opposition. Hey, they don't work for Big Pharma industry. How could you regulate them?
You know what? A lot of very successful people are Big Pharma drug addicts, not drug addicts of street drugs. Like Big Pharma drugs. You understand? Like just the SSRIs alone.
I mean, how many times have you seen the meme on Twitter, like I have, of all the FDA commissioners going directly from being the FDA commissioner to being a board member of Pharma?
Yeah.
How many times? And you know what?
That is not a joke. That's a straight fact.
Oh, I love this thing.
Couldn't wait.
I could wait. Come see us on tour. We're going to be in Baltimore, Hartford, Connecticut, Syracuse, Atlantic City, Levittown, New York, Cohoes, New York, and Providence, Rhode Island. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets.